Today in our 2007 Chevrolet HHR, we'll be installing the Roadmaster XL base plate kit with removable arms, part number 3141-1. Alright, so here's what our base plate looks like installed. Now we can take our removable arms, slide them in place, and we'll secure them with the included pin and clips. Okay, with our pin secure, we now have an attachment point for our tow bar arms. All right, right here at the bottom of our base plate where our arm connects, we have this tab where you can insert a padlock if you want to secure your arms to your base plate, so you don't have to worry about someone just pulling the pins out and taking your base plate arms and your tow bar off. It'll be a secured lock connection. Now when you arrive at your destination and you have your car unhooked from the RV, you can just pull the pins out here, remove the arm, store them in a safe location. You can undo your safety chain cable loops here. And you'll have a nice clean look on your car with nothing sticking out in the front of it. It's recessed underneath your bumper cover, so it's like it's not even there. All right, so here's what our base plate kit comes with. We have our base plate, all of the hardware needed to successfully mount it, and our two removable arms. Now that we've gone over what's included, we'll show you how to install it. All right, with our hood open, our first step is to remove our bumper cover right here. We'll start on our headlight area. Between our headlight and our radiator, there's two 7mm screws on both sides. If you have a universal joint or a wobble extension, it's easier to get in there. Okay, now we need to remove our fender liner here from our fascia. We're on the driver's side. The passenger side will be the same way. 7mm bolt at the top. Remove that. Then we have two plastic clips that hold it on. We use a trim panel tool to pop these off, or you could use a flathead screwdriver. Okay, well, now that we got our three fasteners out from our fender liner, we can reach inside and unplug our connectors for our fog light and our side marker light. We just pull back on this tab right here and pull back. Fog light's the same way. Okay, with that done, we can repeat the same process on the other side. All right, now we're underneath the vehicle on the driver's side. We have a 7mm fastener here, and then two plastic fasteners as well. We'll remove these. We'll repeat the same process on the passenger side. With an extra set of hands, we can remove our bumper cover and set it aside. We'll grab behind the headlight on each side and pull forward to release it from the strips, like that. Do the same right here towards the inside edge of the headlight. We'll just set it aside. Now we'll remove our inner splash shield on our driver's side. Our passenger side has one as well. It's a similar process to remove it. Start with this one here below our horn. Now that we have the three plastic fasteners removed and this one screw, we can find our fourth plastic fastener. This is our last fastener here. We'll lower this on down and set it aside. All right, now that we have both of our inner splash shields removed, we will be removing the two bolts on the corner of our subframe so we can install our base plate. Before you remove those bolts, it's very important that you support the weight of the subframe with a floor jack or a jack stand. Now we use a 21mm socket to remove those bolts. Okay, with the subframe bolts that were removed, we'll coat them with some red Loctite. You'll have to provide your own red Loctite. We have it available on our website though, so we'll get plenty on there. Do the same for the other one. Okay, now with the help of an assistant, we can raise our base plate up and use our subframe bolts to go through the back corner. Now we'll snug these bolts down. Now that those bolts are tightened down, we'll torque them to the amount specified in the instructions. All right, now that our subframe bolts have been torqued down to specifications, we can safely remove our support stand that we had in place. Already did that. We'll take a center punch and we'll go through the hole here on both sides of our bumper support, and we'll make a mark so we can drill a pilot hole all the way through our bumper support to enlarge to our 1/2 inch diameter. Now on the inside of our bumper support, right next to our radiator, you can see the hole that we drilled through it, through our base plate. We'll drop down our large round hole spacers on both holes. Now we can install our hardware to secure our base plate to the bumper support. Now I'll take one of our carriage bolts, put some Loctite on it. We'll come up from underneath, drop on a lock washer and a nut. Snug the nut on down by hand. We'll do the same for the other side. Now we'll use our included fish wire to gain access to our bolt that's on our frame rail right here. So we'll go in this hole here with our fish wire, take the coiled end, stick it through our base plate and in the frame rail, and it'll come out through the square hole in our frame rail. You may have to stick your finger in there and grab your fish wire and pull it on down. Take one of our square spacers, stick it on the wire, push it in the frame rail. Take one of our carriage bolts and we'll thread it onto our pull wire. We'll push it into the square hole and we'll pull it on through. Take our pull wire off, making sure we don't lose our bolt inside the frame. Stick on a flat washer. And we'll stick on a lock washer. Put a dab of red Loctite on it, and then we'll thread on our nut. And we can repeat the same process on the other side. Now that all of our hardware is in place, we can tighten it down with a 3/4 inch wrench. Now we can torque all of our bolts to the amount specified in the instructions. Okay, we'll do the other one the same way. Okay, we'll torque the ones on the side now. Okay, now that all of our hardware is tightened down on our base plate, we can reinstall our fascia. But this is a good time if you're putting in a braking system or doing any towed vehicle lighting. This is a good time to run your wires for it. That way you don't have to take your fascia off again to do it. Now if you chose to run your wiring for your lighting system or your breakaway switch for your braking system at this time, what you can do is just bundle the wires up on top of the engine bay and secure them up out of the way. Once that's done, you can start by reinstalling your splash shields. Alright, now we can repeat the same process on the other side. Alright, now that both of our splash shields are reinstalled, we can do some minor trimming to our fascia to reinstall it. Now in our fascia, this is the passenger side, here's the bottom of it, here's the top of it. We need to do some minor trimming, about 3/4 of an inch wide, arcing down to about here, and the same on the driver's side. We'll use a rotary tool to make our cut. All right, once our bumper cover has been trimmed, we can push it back into place. And now we can start reinstalling our hardware. Start with these top ones here first. We'll repeat the same on the other side. Now we have our bumper cover screwed in at the top. We'll go back to our wheel wells and reinstall our hardware. Try to make sure our fender liner rests up nice and tight inside our bumper cover. Okay, with this done, we'll repeat the same process on the other side. All right, now we've gone back underneath, we'll reinstall our screw and our 2 push pin fasteners. All right, once we have those in, we'll repeat the same process on the other side. Now we'll attach our quick link here to the tab on the base plate, slide in our safety cable attachment loop, and run this on down. We don't need to tighten it up all the way until we're ready to hook up to our RV. And when we're not towing, we can easily remove them. That way we have a really clean look on the front of our vehicle. And that completes our installation of the Roadmaster XL base plate kit with removable arms, part number 3141-1 on our 2007 Chevrolet HHR.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.